All right, listen. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been up here. I don't really remember what I was doing last time I was up here. But it feels really good to be back. This is actually the last time I'm preaching in front of y'all until August. Well, it was like, what? Where are you going? Hey, so listen, this is the last time I'm preaching until August. Well, someone take a wild guess what's coming up soon. The summertime. I know y'all are just so disappointed that this is the last time that I'm preaching to y'all until August. God, that just stinks. Man. Father Colton, that's right. All right, listen. So, with that being said, it's the last time I'm speaking until August, so I really would love y'all's attention and respect, because with that being said, I do have something very, very exciting and cool to share with y'all. We have been going through this very heavy and just very intense conversation-filled series. And we've had some really cool conversations. I've been in all of the older and all the guys groups that we've done. And it's been really cool. I don't know about the girls, but I heard that stuff was really awesome as well. And so I just want y'all to find a way to lock in and pay attention to what I have to say today. Because if you in any way have been impacted by the conversations and the topics that you've talked about in the last couple of weeks, then we're going to bring it home tonight. We're going to kind of bring it back. And we're just kind of bring all this stuff together. And we're going to get down to the root issue that we are all facing right now. But first, Addison talked about it a little bit. We are going through this process of Fuge Camp. And if y'all have seen me at all today, I've talked to you about it. And honestly, if you're in a place where you know you're available and you are willing and your parents want you to go, I seriously, seriously encourage you to find a way there. God is going to work at that camp, and it's going to be great. So I do want to encourage y'all to do that. So, can someone tell me what this series, Can We Talk, has been about or wrapped around? Wyatt. Temptations, right? It's kind of been the big overall topic. What specifically? What are some things? I'm opening it up, man. Let's do it. Just like we said, middle school stuff, like struggles and all that. Yeah, and then girls, right? Like the girl stuff that y'all have going on, and guys the same way, right? What was one of y'all's favorite parts or things that you experienced while doing this, Tristan? Writing down the stuff, yeah, that was awesome. I heard so many good things about that. Yeah, all right. So cool. Look. We have gotten into some really cool conversations, and I encourage you to be with me during this. So, to recap, the first week, we broke off into high school, and then middle school, y'all broke off into girls and guys. You did middle school guys and middle school girls, and we had conversations there, right? And I want you to think about what that night was like for you and what you learned. And then we broke off girls and guys, right? And then we talked about stuff in those groups and specific things. And like Wyatt said, the biggest thing that we were talking about was temptations, right? We were talking about things that just hold us back, right? Like people behind us, right? Or people next to us, right? And we have all these things that are just holding us back from our true potential and our true growth and temptations. But tonight, I'm opening it up tonight because I've had so many conversations with your leaders and the things that y'all are saying. And I really just had this big open opportunity with what I could have talked about tonight. It was kind of just all right, what is something deep that you could talk about that people are struggling with in this room? And we are all here every Wednesday, basically. If you're here, most of the time you're here 90% of the time if you're still here, right? So we know what you say, and we know what you're struggling with, and I'm going to talk about it tonight. And it's self-image. What is self-image? Who knows? Yeah, like yourself, right? The way you view yourself. Self-image is literally wrapped around what you see in yourself. the way that you perceive yourself. And I promise you, there's not a single person in this room that escapes that. You all see yourself a certain way, and we do. When I'm up here, a lot of times we poke at this topic, but tonight we're really going to break it down. All right? Because self-image, in my opinion, is from pride, right? Pride is the root to all evil, and self-image comes from pride. The way you view yourself comes from pride. All right? So if you're laughing, cutting up, or you're talking right now, I can go ahead and tell you, you have a struggle with self-image because you're trying to be funny for the guy next to you so he thinks you're cool. So, lock in, because this is your night. All right? So for the past couple weeks, we've talked about dangers, right? And temptations and things that are going to be tempted to you, whether it's middle school or high school or just this season of life that all of us are in, and it's just middle school and high school, all right? Because honestly, if you think high school is much different than middle school nowadays, the tragedy is that middle schoolers, y'all are basically exposed to all the things that high schoolers are exposed to too, right? It's probably true. High schoolers could probably agree with that. And so I want y'all to understand that your self-image, the way you view yourself, Satan uses the things that we have talked about the last couple weeks to make you think you have to do them to satisfy your self-image, the way you view yourself, right? So we talked about drugs and alcohol, right, or being the cool kid, and I'm going to open that one up here in a minute. But the devil makes you think, in order to look cool or to be somebody that you want to be, that you have to do the things that we've talked about. Does that make sense? And your leaders have told you that. We do so much stuff just to make us feel good about ourselves. Do you agree with me? There are so many things that our generation is trying to do to satisfy this longing to belong, to feel okay about yourself. What do y'all think about that? That's pretty accurate, right? We'll do anything. We'll do anything. And so I want to define self-image. I'm going to talk about it all night. Self-image is defined, the idea one has of one's ability, appearance, and personality. So for you in the room, when I say self-image, I want you to think, how do you view your abilities, your appearance, or your personality? It can be all three of them. It can be one of them, two of them, right? Or none of them. But most likely, I promise you, everybody in this room falls in one of those categories. Abilities, appearance, or personality. How do you view yourself in those, right? And honestly, I'd probably say that every person in this room has some kind of insecurity in all three of those areas. Abilities, appearance, and personality. I bet all three of them have to do with all of us in this room. Now, are they stronger than others? Yes, right? But we do, right? So for me, I'll go ahead and tell you, my abilities. I'm insecure about how good of a student pastor I am. Sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough, right? I've told y'all this in the beginning of me being here. It was like, oh my gosh, like I have no idea what I'm doing, right? And it's still like that. Appearance, well, let's be honest, y'all. I'm goofy, right? Like we know that, like it's not a secret. And then personality. Sometimes I feel like people think I'm weird or I'm too much or I'm too like, oh, this guy's like 22 years old and I'm like 12. Why is this guy trying to talk to me? Weirdo. Like, I'm just trying to hang out with my friends, like, you know? So the first point today is, how do you view yourself? I want you to think right now. Stop being held back by distractions around you. How do you view yourself? All right? This is your response time. This is your time to reflect. When you look at yourself in the mirror, when you see yourself doing things, whether it's sports or school, whatever it is, how do you view yourself? How do you feel you line up when it comes to the roster of your friend group? You feel like you're at the bottom or the top or the middle? How do you view yourself? I want you to think now, we're going to break it down. What are the things you like about yourself, right? What are the things that you feel are good? What things about you make you happy, right? Think about that. There can be a few. For some of us, it might not be a lot because we really do beat ourselves up, right? Now, the next thing is what do you not like about yourself? All right? Think about it right now. How do you view yourself? What are the things that are being told to you that are good, that are bad, right? Think about that. And I'll tell you one thing, when I'm watching not only y'all, me, adults, people, we have a lot of things that we do to make ourselves feel better about ourselves. We do a lot of things to make ourselves feel better about our self-image, about our appearance. We do a lot of things. Man, I'll tell you what, man. We do a lot of things to make us feel better about our appearance, y'all. A lot. This is guys and girls. We do a lot. A lot of insecurities in that. We do a lot of things to make ourselves feel better about our abilities and our personality. A lot of times we watch other people. Think about this. A lot of times we watch somebody and we mirror somebody just to fit in with their personality. Why? Because they're the cool kid, or they got a girlfriend, right? Or they're popular, or they're starting on a sports team. So my question to you now is, why do we worry about our self-image? Right? Something for you to reflect on. We're going to answer that question, but think about that for a second. So, if you hear anything, so people in the back left, you're not hiding from me. I am on a stage in an open room. If you hear anything tonight, don't look back there. That's what they want you to do. Think about this. This is a statement that I want everybody in this room to remember. I know you all got cell phones because you're on it all the time. If you need to write this down, write this down. This is going to be the whole purpose of this sermon. So if you're here for a reason, you're here for this right here. If you live for acceptance, you are going to die from its rejection. I'm going to say it again. If you live for acceptance, you are going to die from its rejection. That is the whole purpose of this whole series, Can We Talk? Is so that I think about it this way, the graphic for this series was like a text message, and it says, Can we talk? And I think it's like a text message from God saying, Can we talk? And then the answer, his next text to you is, if you live for acceptance, you will die from its rejection. If you live through your life trying to live for the acceptance of the world, the people in your school, the teachers, whoever, your parents, if you live to impress people in this life, you are going to die from its rejection. And it's all different for everybody. It's different for everyone. All right? But that is it, y'all. No matter what it is. And I'm going to break it down. Trust me, we're going to talk about this. Because I got 20 more minutes. So y'all figure it out. Because we're going to talk about it. But look, because I got one more thing to tell y'all tonight before we go away for the summer. But guess what? We're not going away. We're hanging out. But I'm going to preach tonight. If you live for acceptance, you're going to die from its rejection. And do you think I'm talking about literally die? Like physically. What am I talking about? Spiritually, right? Good. I'm glad someone answered it. That's awesome. Spiritually. That means spiritually you will be limited for the rest of your life as long as you try and live for the acceptance of people. Look, we are a group of people in this room that want to be seen. What does that mean? What do I mean? We want to be seen. What? We want to be known, right? What? All right. My next question is what thing, negative thing, that you think about yourself makes you want to be seen by other people? What's the reason? If you want to be seen by people, what is the reason inside your head that causes you to do that? Huh? What do y'all think? Huh? Say it louder. Yeah, all right. Lucifer, father of lies, right? So listen. When you struggle with wanting to be seen, this can be drawing attention. So trying to talk to people while Colton's preaching on stage, right? Or during worship. Man, let's talk about this over here. During songs and worship. Man, that's a lot of people who want to be seen, man. What about wanting to be loved? We also want to be loved, and so we will do anything to feel loved from people. Whether that means I just need a girlfriend and I'm 12, but I gotta have a girlfriend, right? And I just gotta put my arm around her, bro. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm like a hawk up here, baby. I'm like a hawk. Hey. Oh, he ain't even 12 yet. All right, listen. Hey, either way, hey, listen. We are a people that just want to be loved, right? We just want people to appreciate us for who we are. And that's the truth in that, is that no matter what, we just want people to see us and appreciate us, no matter who it is. But ultimately, listen to this. Y'all ready for this one? We want to be seen in love, but the truth is, it does matter who it is, because it has to be the cool kids, right? I'm going to talk about this for a second. I'm about to destroy the cool kid narrative because it's crap. It's horrible. It's the worst thing ever. I'm telling you. Listen. Not only do we want to be seen and accepted, but y'all, man, do we just want to be the cool kids. We want to be loved by the cool kids, and we want to be seen by the cool kids. But guess what? They don't even exist. The cool kids don't exist. I'm trying to tell you this right now. Listen. We want to be the cool kids so bad, so we will do anything. We would literally rather be distracted by our spiritual relationship with God and be the cool kids. We would literally rather look cool and feel cool in front of our friends than walk with God. There's so much stuff going on where we would rather sacrifice our relationship with God and look cool in the eyes of the people around us. Think about that. That is happening. That happens a lot. Why do I know that? Because I was in high school, and literally that was a factor for me at one point. Like, just sit there for a second. I'm telling you, the cool kids don't exist. It's not real, all right? I'm about to talk about the lies of Satan, and that's one of them. Is that literally he wants you to think that the cool kids are where you need to be. And you will do anything to get there. We talked about it with the guys last week, but Satan's purpose and existence is to separate you from God. And so he will do anything to put something in front of you to do that. And so right now, the most important thing in front of you that's trying to get you separate from God is the cool kid idea. And that if you do this, you're going to be happy because you're going to be cool. But in the reality, a lot of times, the sacrifice to be a cool kid in this culture is your relationship with God. And he wants you to do that. That's his purpose. I'm not telling you you can't be loved and seen by the people you want to be seen and walk with God. But what I'm saying is, a lot of times, most of the time, the people that are cool in your eyes are going to distract you from your walk with God, because in this world, it's not cool to follow God. I'm telling you, it's not. Like, you're going to look down upon, and people are going to think you're lame. If it's not happening now, ask the high schoolers, because it's happening right now. Okay? And then if you think it's not happening in high school, go to college, bro. I'm telling you, man. Being cool is Satan's distraction. All right? And guess what? Jesus is God's distraction from the devil, from the cool kids. If you try to be cool, you're always going to find someone cooler, right? Think about that too. Because if you think you run your school, if you think you're the coolest person in school, guess what else is going to happen? You're going to open your social media app. Then you're going to feel like crap, right? And guess what? All of these things I just talked about, all the things we think, all of these struggles and the self-image struggles, right? We believe it, right? Don't we? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. We believe it. Like I do. Like I fall into that. It's something we believe. We all want to be that. But do we? And so now we're going to open up the Bible. John 8:44. If you got your Bibles, so basically, 7th grade girls, open your Bibles. I see it up here, don't worry. All right. They got it going on. It's one verse. I want to talk about our enemy. Who's our enemy? We talked about it, right? Y'all know that. John 8:44, it's simple. It says, "You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies." So like I mentioned earlier, self-image, right? We talked about that. Idolizing that and worrying about the way that you look, the way you feel about yourself, whether it's appearance, personality, or abilities. Worrying about that and basing yourself in comparison to other people based off of those things, the lies that Satan puts in your heart, they're lies, bro. I'm telling you. Stop believing these lies that Satan makes you think about yourself. Because guess what? He is the father of lies. And I want y'all to look at something real quick. What does that say in the beginning? You are of... Good job, Kyden. Thank you. I had no idea what y'all were talking about the whole time. All right. What does that mean? Because what have we heard about our relationship to God? Father, right? But what in the Bible, when it comes to the word Father, what's different about this one than the other one? When God is mentioned as the Father. It's capital, right? Capital Father. So what does this mean? I'm going to tell you. You are of your father, the devil. That means before Jesus, we talked about it. Before Jesus, we're what? Sinners. So that makes us enemies of God. Without Jesus Christ, we're considered enemies because of our sin. Without Jesus, that is our truth right there. And so we believe that. A lot of times we believe the devil's lies. Satan is always going to try and plant lies like seeds inside of your head. Do you believe me? He is always going to try and plant seeds in your head about yourself. And if you believe them more and more, what's going to happen? They're going to grow, right? These lies that Satan starts putting in your head, they're your beliefs. They're your beliefs now. It's what you start to think. And I want to tell you right now, all of that stuff, the lies, the self-image doubts about yourself, and then the things that we try to do to make ourselves feel better are always going to fail you. There's nothing that you can do about your situation when it comes to the way you feel about yourself that's going to make you feel better. I promise you. It might be for a little bit, but then it's just going to go away. Because guess what? You're going to look for something else. All right? And it's going to run out. You got to understand me. And this is what I'm telling you. During this series, the 2 weeks before this, we talked about all the things that we try to do to make ourselves feel better about our self-image, right? Does that make sense? All of the things that are thrown at y'all, right? Are all because we want to make ourselves feel better somehow about the way we feel about ourselves. All right, so what are some ways, right? I just made a list of 4 things that a lot of times make us feel insecure or bad about our self-image, some seeds that Satan uses or some things to lure us away from God when it comes to this idea of self-image. The very first one I thought about, someone say it. Huh? Social media, baby. Let me tell you. The more time, look. Look, listen. The more times you open up social media and the longer you spend on it, the more seeds you're going to let Satan plant in your head. All right? The longer time you spend in that is the more you're letting that in. All right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, this isn't a secret. I'm not telling you something you don't know. Social media is, right now, for your age group, the number one tool that Satan is using to influence you, to make yourself feel like you got to be someone you're not. I'm telling you. Like, I got limits. I don't have, like, this is new. This is something new. I'm not like some saint since I was like 14. I'm like, dude, I can't, like, I think 2021, I took Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that off my phone, and then I got like a 1 hour limit on Snapchat. That's it. Because I like to be funny on Snapchat. Me and Addison Snapchat all the time. And look, I'm telling you, find those limits. Do not let him use that. Because I'm telling you, we love it. All right? A lot of times it can be good, right? But what God made for good, Satan uses for evil. All right? I'm telling you, get out of it. All right? Because that is not the foundation that y'all need to root yourself in. And then the second big one, what do y'all think? What is the second big thing that Satan uses to put lies in your head? Just someone say it. Friend groups, right? Peers, people around us. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have noticed that we've been distracted in this room because of the people around us. But imagine school or sports or just our environment, right? The people around us. The same thing with social media. The longer that you put yourself and invest your time in a group of people that is not a positive influence in your life, the more you allow Satan to have access to influencing you. And then some other ones I put are adult influences. So whether that is just like, that it can be parents, but hopefully not. But the biggest thing for me with adult influence is just adults in this culture, right? We can talk about TikTokers or rappers, right? Or just famous people, YouTubers, whatever. But I'm telling you, a lot of us in here, we are worshiping and idolizing the wrong people. And we're putting our attention towards the wrong people. And it's the same truth. What are you letting inside of your mind that is basing the way you perceive yourself and what you need to be? Man, we watch TikTokers way too much, and then we want to be them. And look, I love the TikTok dances, though. And first of all, I got beef with, like, sixth grade girls. Y'all don't really do it. But, like, why am I not in TikToks? Like, for real. Like, I need that energy. You know what I mean? You got me? Like, I can bust down. Like, you know what I mean? But look. Like, nah, I'm just kidding. But look. Bring it back. I always ruin, like, the momentum, you know? I always do that. But look, bring it back. I got to be a student pastor, though. I got to be the goofy, like, guy on stage. But listen. Shh. But really, we look at these people that are on TikTok. I'm just talking about TikTok right now. We look at these people and we think we have to be them. We really do. Or YouTube. That's the big thing right now. We look at these people and we're like, do whatever we can do to try and be them. And guess what? Sorry to say this, you're not. It's the reality of it. All right, so look, we talked about all this. Now, I want to tell you what the truth is. Now, this part right here in this talk, I need you to listen. Because I've told you what is not and what is the lies, right? And the things we believe that aren't true. But now I want to tell you what we're called to. All right? And what the truth is. What I'm about to tell you is the truth about you and why all of these things are lies. Genesis 1:27. We're going to the very beginning. All right. I feel like we always read Genesis recently. It's great. All right, Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So listen. We read the verse before, Satan's the father of lies. I told you, all of the things that I just listed are from him that are lies, and they're not true, and stop believing it. This is the truth for you, is that you in this room were created in God's image. And you have a consciousness. Have you ever thought about this before? You have a body, and if you remove a part of the body, you still have a soul. So inside of your body, you have a soul that exists. And the evidence of your soul means that there's a God that knows you and created that. Does that make sense? And so the truth is stop basing yourself off of these false images of yourself and realize that God created you and knows you for who you are. And he made you, your appearance, your abilities, and your personality the way that it is for a reason. And believe that and love that about yourself. And the truth is that Satan knows that you're created in the image of God. Like he knows that. That is why he wants to get you away from God. And God desires us to pursue his truth. He wants you to pursue his truth and not the lies of Satan. Our main passage tonight is Matthew 4, 1 through 11. We have a perfect example of this. All right, so what I want y'all to understand, we're made in the image of God, right? There's lies that are put in our lives. Jesus Christ is the perfect example of somebody who Satan was intimidated by and didn't want to live his full potential out. And so we're going to read something briefly. Matthew 4, 1 through 11. It says, Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil, and after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, think about that for a second. In this version of the Bible, it says the tempter. That's crazy. If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread. But he answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him to the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Jesus said to him, again it is written, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, all these things I give you, if you will fall down and worship me. My page just turned for some reason. Then Jesus said, begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and only him you shall serve. Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and were ministering to him. Jesus was tempted by Satan. And so I want you to think about this for a second. Think about this. When you're tempted to do something wrong, guess what the truth is? You are a child of God. That's your evidence right there. Your evidence that you are a child of God is that Satan wants to tempt you to do the things that we've talked about the last couple weeks. And Jesus Christ was tempted. And he was the Son of God. And so the truth is, you know that God is for you and knows your potential when Satan is trying to get you off the track. Does that make sense? That's literally your evidence. It's all you need right there. So what is the purpose in all this? John 14:6. Very simple. It's I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So I want you to know, in this life, the temptations and the struggles of self-image, like I said before, you are not going to be able to satisfy that on your own. There is nothing you can do when it comes to the things around you to make yourself feel better. That stinks, right? That's tough. Because, man, do we wish we could do it all on our own, don't we? So this is the truth right here. No one comes to the Father except through me. You will not be able to feel good about yourself fully without Jesus. Only through Jesus will you ever be able to feel good about yourself and fully satisfied with the way you look, what you can do, or the way you act. It's simple. Jesus Christ will save you from that, and he will fulfill your deepest longing and satisfaction for your self-image. And you will no longer have to worry about the temptations that are around you that are trying to lure you away from God, because you have Christ now. He's going to guide you through that. He is going to carry you through that stuff. And you're no longer worried about the cool kids. You're no longer worried about being cool, because Jesus fulfills that. And he makes you realize one day we are going to realize, wait a second, that stuff doesn't matter, because like Jesus died for me and I'm going to heaven, so therefore nothing on this earth really can satisfy me anymore. It's the reality of it. When Jesus satisfies you enough, nothing on this earth will ever be able to even touch it. So this is my last point. This is the last thing I'm saying. Love yourself. You are who you are. Love yourself. Why? Why can you love yourself? Because Jesus loved you first. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. If you live for acceptance, you will die from its rejection. You are made the way you are for a purpose. Satan wants you to take you away from that purpose. Stop worshiping these false things, these lies that are put in front of you. All right? Love yourself because Jesus loved you. Satan doesn't love you. The things around you that make you lure away from your relationship with God don't love you. They just want to take you away from God. All right? God is the way to the inner peace of your self-image. Before I pray, we got 2 more weeks of these summer things, y'all. And look, we are going to go out big. And it's going to be lit. It's going to be fun. All right? I'm so excited. All right? God is moving here, and we're going to continue to grow spiritually and this group. And man, we got some good things coming. I'm pumped. So I'm super encouraged by this group, and we'll talk more at the end of the school year party, but I'm blown away. So this is great. So I'm going to pray. And look, we're going to go to small groups. Y'all got like 25 minutes. And y'all enjoy it. Open up. Like your small group leaders are ready to talk to you about this self-image stuff because it's really cool and it's really important. So y'all pray with me, and then we're going to hang out in small groups for a while. Father God, Lord, we thank you for this day. And God, I just pray right now over these students, God. And I just pray right now that, God, you just steer them so far away from the lies of Satan about their self-image and the things that we are believing about ourselves, God. We are worshiping false things and things that just are not going to fulfill us or steer us towards Christ. And God, I just pray right now, Lord, that you just do a work in our lives. God, mature us in our walk and just allow us to just grow closer and closer to God and just lean on Jesus, Lord, so that nothing around us and that is surrounding us will ever even cross our minds as something that will just make us think that we're cool or okay. And God, I just want to pray over all these students and just protect them, God, and just watch over them. And Lord, just continue to grow Graystone Students Oconee, Lord, because the work is not finished, Lord. You are doing amazing things in this room and in this group of students. And God, I just pray that we will just be motivated to follow what you have for us. And God, we love you and we're faithful and we're so excited for what you're doing. God, we love you and praise in your name. Amen.